take this off. Is that fine? Yeah. While I talk. Hi. Hi, everyone. So nice to see you. Thanks for being here. So, yes, do you go by Professor Good with everyone? Sure. Okay, as Professor, sorry, we're really good friends. As Professor Good said, I have a background in classical music, but I also do songwriter stuff. So I wanted to start today by just telling you a little bit about my journey with songwriting. So I grew up on a farm in Texas. Specifically, it was a bird farm. And the first song I ever wrote was actually for a pigeon that had died. And I wrote a little song for it as I was burying it. I believe I was probably, I would guess, 8 or 9 when I wrote that song. So songwriting was a part of my existence for a long time. I also had really bad anxiety as a kid. Obviously, I didn't have the language for that, but I would get very nervous and I would sing little songs to myself. And by that, I mean I would literally go, "It's okay, everything's fine." Literally, is that very, I wasn't out here being a prodigy, but it did help me calm down, and it helped me get in tune with my body by feeling the vibrations of my singing. So that's something that has held true for me throughout my life, is that singing and songwriting really is a very personal thing for me. It's about helping me process life and process my feelings and stay present in my body. And I think for a lot of people, that's what songwriting is. I have a lot of friends who are not musicians, not trained at all, but they songwrite extensively. And some of those songs are things that they share with others, and some of them are just things that are just for themselves. And I think that that is something really beautiful about the practice of songwriting, is it's not, it's for everyone. If you want to do it, you should do it. So, speaking of, so who in here has written a song before? Yeah. Yes, raise your hand. Yeah, so most of us, many of us, if you haven't written a song before, I encourage you to try it. You don't have to be a musician. You can literally, when I was a kid, I was just like, I'm okay, everything's good. That's a song, whatever. It doesn't have to be Pulitzer Prize winning. I think everyone should try songwriting just as a personal exercise. So I grew up on the farm. I was blessed enough that I got put into piano lessons, and then from there I found a real love for writing all sorts of music. I started writing stuff on the piano, and once again I was blessed enough that my teacher was like, hey, maybe you should write some of these down. So then I started to write songs down, and then I started to look at college and was like, what should I do in college? I just want to do music. I love music so much, but I didn't know that being a composer was even something you could do until I started looking at majors, and I was like, what's a composition major? What does that mean? Once again, I was on the farm, okay? So I looked it up, and I was like, oh, I thought that composers were just dead people, like Beethoven, because I was playing Beethoven and Chopin. Yeah, exactly. I thought that it was just Beethoven, Chopin, Yeah. So then I was like, oh, then that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, actually. And I was 14, and I still stand by that decision. It is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. So then I applied to schools, and I did my undergrad, and then songwriting sort of fell by the wayside because I started to get into my head, I'm a composer. Composers don't write these silly little songs. We're writing orchestra pieces, and I got into this weird sort of mindset that was reinforced by, my school was lovely that I went to, but there was a little bit of that sort of dialogue that goes on in classical circles sometimes. And then I went to graduate school at Cal Arts. Which is where I met Professor Good. And while I was at Cal Arts that I took a songwriting class because I was like, hey, I kind of miss writing my songs. And that's when things started to open up again for me. And I had a great professor, and he was very all music is equal. It's not about really got me cleansed of the elitist kind of stuff. I had kind of got into my head of real composing, whatever that means. I got that fully flushed back out of my system, which I'm so thankful for. And so I started writing songs again, and I found a lot of comfort in it. And then I graduated from Cal Arts in 2019, and then the pandemic happened, and all of my classical gigs that I was so proud of got canceled because we couldn't gather how we are today. So I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And I was like, all right, well, I have a bunch of songs I've written just over the last years of my life, and especially during the pandemic, I wrote a lot of songs. I was like, you know what I'll do is I'll just record this stuff in my closet and make some albums of songwriter music because I needed to do something. I was like losing my mind. So then, yeah, I started recording stuff. I started writing a bunch more songs specifically, and then, yeah, I just crawled into my closet, recorded a bunch of stuff, and then edited it on my computer in my little like Logic, DAW, that's the one I use. And so, yeah, and then I just started putting it out into the world, not thinking much of it. I mean, I was very like nervous. I was like, oh, I haven't shown my songs to anybody. Started putting it out, and everyone was so nice. Everyone like liked the songs, and like I started getting people reaching out to me about like, oh, like I really resonated with this. Like, thank you for like sharing this. A lot of my work has to do with mental health, specifically mental illness, and even more specifically depression, because I have episodic depression. And I had so many people reach out to me and be like, oh my God, like I feel like less alone, like thank you for sharing, like it was so nice to like see someone else like verbalize some of this, like this feeling that comes with being mentally ill. So it became this really special thing that I got to like share with others and people were resonating with. So that's how I got back into my songwriting. So I still write classical music, as Professor Good mentioned. I just had an opera that was commissioned by Chicago Opera Theater that went up in April of last year. That's getting an additional performance this May. So I'm still writing contemporary classical. I have a couple orchestra pieces I've done lately and all that kind of stuff. But now my songwriting, I'm like, this is an equal player. Like I still devote a lot of time to songwriting. So today I'm gonna sing some songs for you that are older. I have some stuff that's new, like unreleased songs that I'm gonna sing for you. But as we go, I'll kind of like talk you through my mindset as I was going through it. The primary thing is just that like I do think it's such a personal journey, and everyone's way of writing songs is going to be quite different. Like I said, a lot of my stuff has to do with mental wellness and mental illness because of my personal experience. But yeah, so let's get into it. Let's sing some songs. Okay, so this first one I'm gonna sing for you is called Jilly's Garden. So my name's Gillian, right? But growing up, my family called me Jilly because my little brother couldn't say my name right because he was like a little baby. I was Jilly to him. He couldn't say Gillian. So everyone in my family calls me Jilly. So I used that nickname to name this. So this is Jilly's Garden. I tattoo the earth on my body to reclaim it. If my skin is my only home, why did I hate it? Roses and sunlight and moon phases, trying to make sense of this life, but it keeps changing. A flower for my thoughts every time you cross my mind. A garden full of memories, my sister and I. Bunk beds and sunsets and bubbles on water. I wonder if I'll go home again. It seems farther and farther. So I dig up the soil, echoing with love from the people in my life who showed me I'm in love. I hold the ocean in my lungs when I am breathing in and out. The waves are my feelings, crashing and turning and pulling me under. I know deep down that I won't drown, but sometimes I wonder. So I dig up the soil, echoing with love from the people in my life who showed me I'm enough. So I plan all my worries, I watch the shoot up as they change into sunflowers that point me to the sun to scream, I'm easy to love. I'm easy to love. I'm easy to love. My mind is a garden. My body is a tree. My lungs are the ocean, and my friends are my family. My mind is a garden. My body is a tree. My lungs are the ocean, and my friends are my family. My friends are my family. My family. Thank you. So that was very focused on sort of my beginnings, my story. I took a songwriting course actually this past December with one of my favorite songwriters, Emily Sprague from the band Florist. That's my favorite band of all time, and I had the privilege of taking a songwriting course with Emily. And our very first songwriting prompt that we did was to write our origin story. So actually this next song I'm going to sing for you is new. It's my origin story that I wrote for that class. And yeah, I'm going to sing it and then we can talk about it after. I was born in an ice storm. My mama had me alone. Postpartum depression. I feel her sadness baked into my bones. Oh, how I wonder if I brought the cold. Oh, how I'm scared to know. Oh, how my father hated the winter. Oh, how he ached to be warm. I was told I looked just like him, such a daddy's girl. I'd stay up late, hear him say how he wanted to leave this world. Oh, how I wonder if I bring the cold. Oh, how I'm scared to know. Oh, how my father hated the winter. Oh, how he ached to be warm. My daddy died in an ice storm, but he wasn't alone. My mama and I, we held his hand as he left this world. Oh, how I wonder if I am the cold. Oh, how I'm scared to know. Oh, 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 how I hate the winter. Oh, how I ache to be warm. But maybe I'll let myself be cold for a while. Maybe I'll let myself be cold. Maybe I'll let myself be cold for a while. Maybe I'll let myself be the cold. Thank y'all. Thank you. What I wanted to say about this one for those of you who do songwrite. The first one I started with Jilly's Garden that has, I've got some 7 chords in there. I have a lot of chord changes that are going on. And I love that one, and I think it's a good song. And but this one I wanted to point out, it's 3 chords the whole song, and I was vamping the same way the whole song. And I just mentioned that to be like, a song, you don't have to have a bunch of chords for a song. It can be 2 chords. It could be 1 chord even. And this one's just a 3. It's an E flat, A flat, B flat. So it could be anything you want, and how you play it really determines the vibe. But that one I wanted sort of this focus on the lyrics. And to me, if you have a really simple chord progression that you're just vamping on, it allows the listener to tune in more to like what's being said, because we're not taking in other information. So that's that. I do have another song about the cold. This one's a little less sad. So I'm going to sing this one for you next. It's called Cold Air, and I actually just released it this past February. I wrote this with my friend Richard who is also an LA-based creator. So I'm going to sing this for y'all. Yeah, it's called Cold Air. And this one I wrote collaboratively. And that is also has been part of my songwriting practices, to write with others, which I really enjoy, because to me, if songwriting is this like very personal, like sort of spiritual experience for me, it's very actually kind of scary to be like, let's write a song together. It's like a little bit like, let's just totally bare our souls together, which is really beautiful, but it feels quite different when I write with others, just because it's not just me saying like, oh, here's my experience, let me put it into song. It's a lot of asking questions of like, oh, well, how does this feel for you though? How would you describe it? And sometimes it's quite different than how I would. So this is a song I wrote with Richard. I watch time pass, and it's always the same when I'm stuck in my room with the clouds in the way. The fog out my window is a light purple gray, and it seems to be asking, begging me to stay. I feel the cold air under my skin to remind me I'm alive again. And after a while, the cold's not so bad. I want my walls painted a brighter shade in a different palette. I just need the change. The sounds in the hallway are a muted symphony, something beautiful, I'm sure. If I could just reach my door, I'd feel the cold air under my skin to remind me I'm alive again. And after a while, the cold's not so bad. And when the sun comes, as it does, you'll find that now you're warm enough. And after a while, it's a nice sunny day. Yes, so we wrote that one together. I will say the chord progression for that was a lot of Richard. He was picking out what he felt like would be a good fit, and a lot of the lyrics were then me. That's just the way that we found collaborating worked for us, because I really love lyrics, and I write a lot of poetry too. And so I was very comfortable doing that sort of stuff, and he was a little bit, when we wrote this, he was a little bit more hesitant to do lyrics. So it worked great. He did the chords, I did the lyrics. Here we are. So when I first started songwriting, I was very nervous to actually use the piano. Let me explain why. So I was classically trained on the piano. I started lessons when I was 7, and then did lessons, and then in undergrad I studied with a professor doing piano lessons. It was a comp degree that I was doing, but I had a concentration in piano. And then at Cal Arts also I continued my piano lessons. So very classically trained, lots of Brahms and Chopin and so when I tried to approach songwriting, I felt all this pressure. When I was at the piano, I was like, oh my God, I need to have these complex chords because I'm a pianist, whatever that means. And I just felt really stressed out by it at first. Now I don't care. I write on the piano all the time. But when I first started songwriting, I just got really in my head about complexity and all this sort of stuff, which thankfully I've worked through in my head. But I mention all of this to say I used to write on my ukulele. I bought a ukulele for $50, and I was like, I will just write songs on this so that I don't get in my head and don't get freaked out. And it was great. I still like the songs that I wrote on the ukulele, though I have moved past my mental blocks around it. But I did want to show you all. I have this song that I wrote on the ukulele that I really like. I mean, obviously I'm going to play it on the piano. It's fine. But it's called the Pancake Song, which I really enjoy because I love pancakes. Fun fact about me, I love pancakes. And one of my friends actually calls me Pancake. It's her nickname for me, which I think is cute. So this is the Pancake Song. You took me to pancakes last week, but I was so nervous I could hardly eat. I think you're the prettiest girl I've ever seen. Yeah, I think you're the prettiest girl I've ever seen. So now I have pancakes left over in my fridge. Pancakes have been my favorite food since I was a kid. I usually eat all of them, but you make me feel sick. These butterflies don't need a home in my chest, is where they live. When I was 18, I told a boy I liked waffles better, but that was a lie. Now that I'm 29, I have to admit I like having pancakes left over in my fridge. I could listen to your laugh all day, so I think I will replay every conversation I'll be laughing on the train. I want to hear you talk about everything. I think you're the prettiest girl I've ever seen. Yeah, I think you're the prettiest girl I've ever seen. Thank you, thanks. So, as I mentioned, a lot of my songs and a lot of my music is about mental health and mental illness, mental wellness. I also write a lot about my dreams. I have a very active dream life. This is me being curious. Who in here dreams a lot? Yeah, okay. Do we have anyone who writes their dreams down? Yeah, I love that. So I think that our dream worlds are a really interesting place. Those of us who remember our dreams and can participate in them. I lucid dream sometimes, and I get to control the dream a little bit. So yeah, my dreams occupy a lot of my headspace, which then turns into I write songs about them. So this next one is a song about a dream I had. And I have actually a number of songs that are explicitly, and I even say they're this is a dream I had. But yeah, so I'm gonna share this one. I don't even have a title for this one, I just call it my dream song. So this is my dream song. I also think I will probably never release this one, so this is very here we go. Y'all are gonna hear this and you'll never have it online, so. I had a dream last night. My mom was crying in the driver's seat. I tried to comfort her, but she was driving me around like when I was a child and I was crying too. I was crying too, and then we're in the kitchen. Everyone is laughing except me, and I start to scream. I can't do this anymore. I won't do this anymore. I'm not okay, Mom, and neither are you. And it's the heavy cosmic truth. We're all breaking in this house, except the ones that made it out. So I cling to a boyfriend who made me feel safe. I think it's the first time that I felt that way. His mom said she loved me, so I said okay. Maybe this is somewhere I could stay. I had a dream, it was me. I was the one who was sick, but I was happy for it, 'cause it gave you more time. I just wanted you to have more time. I'm not okay, Dad, and neither are you. And it's the heavy cosmic truth. You'll never make it out of your lonely, broken house, but I'll love you anyway. I'll love you just the way I wanted you to love me when I was a kid. Unconditional, but you never did. I tried hard to save you, but I couldn't do it. I was a kid. I was a kid. So tell me you love me, then scare me to death, then make me feel like it never happened. Tell me I'm sorry and that I'm so sad, and I'll believe it, 'cause I'm just a kid. I had a dream last night. We were all dancing in November, and I had a dream last night. We were all together. Thank you. Thanks, y'all. So that one is a more recent one. I wrote it. It's been about a year now since I wrote that one. But it's quite a personal song. I don't mind sharing it, obviously, with you lovely people today. But it's one of those that I don't know if I'd ever want it like on my like Spotify or anything. But I do like it, so I take opportunities like this to get to share. It's very vulnerable, and that's something too with my going back to like songwriting as sort of like a spiritual practice for me. There are some songs that I will never show anyone. I just wrote them for me, and they helped me process something. They helped me work through it. And I think that's something really beautiful about songwriting too, which is why I encourage everyone to try it. Because you don't have to show anybody. You just try it, and I think it's like a very powerful way that we can learn to navigate the world. Because as none of us are surprised to hear, like life is quite difficult sometimes, and it's very comforting to have a place to be with yourself and literally to sing to yourself. So yeah, I have a lot of songs that no one will ever hear, but they helped me a lot. So that's something too that I think is important. Just write a song. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to share, or you can share it, and that's a really beautiful thing. Like, I love getting to share something that's really vulnerable with other people and to get to experience humanity in that way of being like, here's my heart, like, what do you think? Because usually people can resonate, and it makes people more comfortable to share as well, but you don't have to. You don't got to share it. It's fine. So this song that I'm going to sing now is quite old at this point. I think I wrote it like 4 years ago. It's called Any Sort of Way, and it's all about mental wellness. So we're going to talk a little bit about being happy and like feeling like you're enough. So at the end of this song, there is an outro that literally the words are, "You are enough, you are so loved." And anyone who's comfortable, when we get to the outro, y'all are gonna sing it with me. You don't have to, this is optional, but I'm gonna teach it to you right now. It's very simple. So it goes, I'm gonna do it and then you're gonna copy me, okay? So I go, you are enough. You are enough. Okay, thank you. You are so loved. Thank you. Oh, wow. Y'all sound great. Okay, so I taught you that in reverse order because I'm mean, accidentally. So I'm going to put it together now, but we're going to flip the order. So we go, I'll do it first. You are so loved. You are enough. Now, y'all. You are so loved. You are enough. That sounds beautiful. Okay, thank you. So that's at the end of the song, so you'll know when the time comes. But this is called Any Sort of Way. You don't have to be any sort of way. You can be happy, you can be angry, you can be just who you are today. You don't have to be any sort of way. You can be spaced out, you can be laughing, you can be anything at all. You don't have to be any sort of way. You can be any sort of size, you can be any sort of shape. I'm just glad that you took the time to see me. You're so beautiful just sitting in that chair. I'm just happy that I get to call you my friend. You're so special to me, and I'm not the only one. So you don't have to be any sort of way. You can be chatty, you can be quiet, you can be screaming at the top of your lungs. You don't have to be any sort of way. You can be sad, you can be broken. I'm just glad that you took the time to see me. y'all. Y'all sounded great. Good job. Okay, so we're getting towards the end here. We end right at 2. Okay, I want to make sure I leave some time for questions. So, do we think we have time for 2 more songs? 2? It's 43 right now.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 more? Let's do 1 more. I don't want anyone to be pressed for time. We're gonna do 1 more. So the time has saved you from a really sad song, and instead we're gonna end with, this is one of my favorite songs that I've written lately, so I'm gonna end with this one. This is called Lie in the Grass, and I wrote it, recently, in the last few months or so. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna lie in the grass and forget that anything bad has happened. I'm gonna feel the breeze and know that it's the earth breathing. I'm still breathing too. I'm gonna look at the trees and watch as their colors are changing. I'm gonna know it's okay that I'm still making mistakes. I'm still changing too. I'll fill myself with new good things. Joy is out there waiting for me. I'm gonna float in the ocean, let go of all I've been holding. I'm gonna think of my dad and know I keep the best parts of him. I'm still his kid. I'm gonna look at the clouds and make new shapes out of them. I'm gonna know it's okay that things never stay the same, 'cause I'm still changing too. I'll fill myself with new good things. Peace is out there waiting for me. I'm gonna search for the moonlight and write a song that I just might sing to all of my friends to tell them how much I love them. So here we are. I love all of you. I love all of you. Hey, thank you all so much for listening. I really appreciate it. So yes, we have a little bit of time for questions if people want to ask me about songwriting. I'm also happy to talk about, classical stuff, or honestly just whatever. We can chit chat. Yes.
What is your Spotify?
Thank you. So I use my My full name, so it's Gillian Ray Perry. So Gillian with a G, and then Ray is R-A-E, and then Perry, like Katy Perry. So Gillian Ray Perry. You can find me on Instagram and stuff with that too, I think, if you type that in. Yeah, and my Spotify has my contemporary, like, classical stuff on there, and it has my songwriter stuff. That was something I was like, should I separate these? And I was like, no, it's all me. It's all my heart and soul. So whether it's, you know, an orchestra piece, an opera, or these songs, and yeah, I see. Did you raise your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get your songs on Spotify? Because I want to do that someday.
Oh yeah, listen, it is easy. You pick a distributor, which you can just Google the different distributors. I use oh gosh, I don't remember which one I use, but there's a bunch of them. There's like CD Baby, DistroKid is the one I use. But you basically just like pay a fee and then it distributes it to all the platforms. That's the thing, like people try to act like that is some like mysterious ephemeral thing. You're on Spotify, but it's not that complicated. Yeah, so for sure. Mm-hmm.
I also have another one, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So how do you get people to listen to your songs? Like how do you get noticed?
Oh, well, listen, I would say as far as like getting noticed, I would say my contemporary classical music is more like what people know from me, like from like commissions, etc. and concerts. So with songwriter stuff, that's not really how I think of that work that I do. It's more, I wouldn't say that many people know my songwriting. But I play gigs, I do open mics, and I do performances. I would say if you want like experience getting to sing for others, I would definitely do some open mics. LA has some awesome ones. I used to do, when I lived here, I did a bunch of them. Highland Park Bowl has one on Tuesday nights, actually. And that one's really good because they have a listening room, so it's like a dedicated space for listening. But anyway, I would recommend just like going out there and performing. I mean, most of the time, like that's how I get people to like listen. But I would say just full transparency. I'm not out here with like, you know, 1 million followers on Spotify. But yeah, I would say go perform. Yeah. Yes.
So I'm talking to a lot of comp majors. Every one of them says learn theory, learn theory, learn theory. How much theory do you use in your compositions? If you ever make them?
Like generally my compositions or specifically my songs?
Either, I guess. I wouldn't know much of the difference. I'm not a comp major.
Oh no, yeah, all good. I would say, I mean, the theory does help me with like my progressions as far as for songwriting. Like if I'm like, oh, I kind of want to have like this different sort of feeling that I know like technical stuff about, like, oh, well, I can throw this type of chord in here and it will have a different sort of feeling. And then when I compose, yeah, a little bit. But the thing is, like, theory more comes, it's something that I'm glad that I've learned because it comes up as I'm writing, but it's not, I don't sit and go, I'm going to write this progression and then I'm going to do this, this, and this before I, like, sit down at the piano at all. I'm a very, like, intuitive composer, so, like, the theory does help me, but more in, like, a subconscious way, because then I sit and I play and I feel like I have more options at my disposal because I've studied theory. So I do think theory is very helpful, but it's not in the way of like, I don't like sit down and be like, here's all of this theoretical stuff I'm going to use, and then I go to the piano and write. It's it like kind of comes up as I'm writing. Yeah. Yes.
Do you have any tips for lyric writing?
Yeah, I do. Once again, my lyric writing is very like personal for me. Not everybody writes songs that way, so this is my perspective of just usually what happens for me is I come up with a lyric that I'm like, as I'm driving or something, I'm like, ooh, that's good. I'm gonna write that down once the car is parked. And so then I write the lyric down. And then I build off from that. So usually what I do is if I have like a little nugget that I like of like, oh, like for example, that last song, I'm gonna lie in the grass and forget that anything bad has happened. Like that part came to me first. And then I was like, okay, well, if the song is I'm gonna lie in the grass and like pretend like nothing bad has happened, where else could I be that would have that? Like, what else have I learned from nature? Like, I take whatever kernel I have and then sift through that for meaning and information to decide what the rest of the song is. So then I was like, oh, well, I look at the moon, I lay in the ocean, you know, to find peace, to find joy. Like, it all came from that. Because usually if you have like a sentence you like, there's usually so much meaning in just one sentence. So if you have just like the beginning part of something, then you just like forage that for the rest of your lyrics. That's what I recommend doing. That's what I do at least, but yeah. Also, don't feel like you have to rhyme. All my stuff rhymes because I like to rhyme, but like you don't have to rhyme. It's actually great if you don't. You can just write things, yeah. Oh, yes?
What usually goes first in your songwriting? Like the lyrics or the chords?
Usually for me, it's lyrics because, yeah, that's just how my brain works, but like I was saying, my friend Richard, that Cold Air song, I mean, he usually does chords first and then lyrics come after. So there's no like one way to do it, but definitely for me, it's usually the lyrics. That's just how my brain works. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who are your 3 greatest inspirations for music?
Just music generally or songwriting?
Both.
Okay, 3. Well, I mentioned Florist. They're my favorite band, okay? But Emily is the one I took the songwriting class with. So Florist, definitely. Oh, also if you want like lyrics to look at, like Florist has amazing lyrics. So Florist, Meredith Monk, composer, because of her vocal writing, like changed my life. And not to be, it's fine. Also Mahler. Okay, we're gonna throw a dead composer in there. Mahler. I'm gonna give one more. Also Arvo Pärt. Yeah. Yes. That's my answer. Other questions? No? Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. Feel free, if you think of something that you're like, oh wait, I wanted to ask this human this question, you can come up to me. I'm pretty nice, I've been told. So, wait, one more? Yeah?
What was your first instrument?
Piano. I started on the piano. I was so fortunate. My mom put me in lessons when I was like 7. So piano, and then I did cello a little bit, and then like harp in graduate school. But yeah, first one was piano. This is my home. So, all right, y'all. Well, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your week.